Thank you, Jose. As Jose mentioned earlier, this is the backbone of the bill, no? Kasi ito po dito nakalagay ano yung mga dokumento na dapat ilalabas ng mga ahensya. Most of this actually is DBM, right? DBM would have most of this data until you go into the specific fund use of every agency. If you want to use the current flood control scandal as our reference, agad-agad makikita ka agad sino yung mga nagbid, magkano yung na-award sa kanila, magkano yung mga kontrata, saan, magkano yung mga sementong gagamitin nila, yung bakal na alam nating overpriced by anywhere from 30 to 100%. Nakikita natin sino yung mga nag-compete na baka mga dami rin lang o mga pare-parehas lang ng mga kumpanya. And even up to the progress billing. During the privileged speech of Senator Lacson, they were able to uncover that the progress billing of some of these flood control projects na bigay na 100%, meaning considered completed na siya kahit wala pa talagang nagagawa. Can you imagine if now all of that data will be available to the public? Kung makikita ng kahit sinong mamamayan yung data na yan, makikita nila 0, 30, 50, 100%, and those reports have corresponding pictures. And if our watchdogs here can connect to satellite technology, you can even verify it on your own. I think yesterday or the other day, DPWH had a MOA signing with the Philippine Space Agency for that purpose. So all of this will be out there for the public to see. Now, yung isang concern ng mga grupo initially was, what about garbage in, garbage out? Eh kung nagsisinungaling naman yung report, well, kung nagsisinungaling kayo, pwede kayo makulong. That's the answer to that. Kung nagsisinungaling kayo, kung maglalagay kayo dito ng garbage in or yung maling data, pwede kayo makulong. And later on, we'll look at Section 17 or 16 about penalties. Makikita natin na mabigat yung mga penalty for the agencies and the officers who are putting in fraudulent data. No? So, before I move on, may I ask our government watchdogs like PBC, maybe InsightGov, DBM, tama naman yung mga nakalagay na dokumento dito, di ba? Meron pa bang kulang? Meron ba kaming na-miss out na mga dokumento na dapat nakalagay rin dito? Yes, Ms. Pacalna.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and to everyone present. As to the itemized type of documents on the draft, tama naman ito, Mr. Chair. Although under item C, budget execution and fund release documents, we respectfully suggest for the committee to consider including the national budget circular that we release on the guidelines on the release of funds for the current fiscal year. This will provide a lighthouse and understanding to the public kung paano nirelease yung funds after the General Appropriations Act is passed or enacted. So that is also an important document that will provide information to the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Yun lang? Mayroon pa ka bang gusto idagdag or hanggang dun muna?
At this juncture, yun po muna, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, salamat. AJ, you have anything else to add here? We got the initial list from PBC actually, so you may want to talk about this section.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Maraming salamat po. I think the list of documents are correct. I think it's a good start, but we're realizing that as we're compiling our documents, that marami pang ibang na may miss out. So we're hoping that there's also a catch-all provision any other documents. Now, I'm not sure if it has to be in this bill or if we would like to pursue a different freedom of information and full disclosure bill.
No, it's here. We have other... Yeah, we have Section F, no other documents. In fact, the council that will be formed, co-chaired by DBM and the ICT, can also mandate further documents in the future. But again, kung hindi kasi nakalagay sa batas, it's better to really put it. No, so kung meron kayong maisip pa, magandang ma-raise nyo na ninyo para malagay natin siya. Kasi yung mga others to follow, that's usually not good legislation. It's better to be very specific.
Sige po, I have several points pa po.
Yeah,
some comments, could we integrate possibly the idea of having the identification system, like the UAX code, the Prexy codes, as part of this provision or another provision?
Yes, we can include that. Yeah. We mentioned UAX naman talaga,
Yes.
but to parang the legend,
Yes.
yung what the UAX and what it exactly means, no?
Yes.
Yeah, I think DBM, that's publicly available data naman, no? Miss Pacalna, di ba? Yung UAX, no?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And does that change? Or nagbabago ba yung UAX? Or that's it na, di ba?
May revisions kapag may yes.
May bagong items.
Yes, which
Okay.
is decided by the DBM, the COA, together with the DOF.
Okay, so the legend of UAX, no? Okay, kung ano yung ibig sabihin niya, we can include that.
Because we noticed, Mr. Chair, thank you, it might not necessarily be interoperable with other data standards like the PSGC that the Philippine Statistics Authority uses, yung Philippine Standard Geographic Code. So what we noticed, for example, iba yung coding with the UAX pag regional or provincial sa PSGC na ginagamit ng PSA. So we might want to think about how to make these all interoperable.
Yes. Yan ang sakit ng ulo ni Yusek Dave actually. Yung magkakaibang, tama ba Yusek Dave? Yung magkakaibang mga terminologies ng iba't ibang ahensya. But eGov is trying to consolidate that, right?
Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, actually, since we already passed the e-governance act, part of that act is to allow the ICT to implement standardization, including to our terms and the descriptions later on, the mga technicalities, Mr. Chair.
So that law is already working on that.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So by the way, let me just also explain. The scope of the bill is really for full disclosure of documents and to secure these documents. No, there are other laws that are trying to computerize and digitalize our government system. I think the eGov Act was that law. There are other laws also that tackle other parts of the government. But a law is best when it's really very clear in its scope. So ito yung conversation ko with Sec Henry and Yusek Dave na may goals ang DICT, may goals ang eGov, may goals ang gobyerno sa efficiency, maybe DBM and DOF are part of that. What we're trying to focus on is just one part of that larger goal. But this is the part that is the most important when it comes to fighting corruption. Okay? So we're not trying to do everything. Okay? We're not trying to digitalize government because there are other groups and other laws that are already trying to do that. What we're trying to do is to make transparent all of the documents needed so the people know where their money is going and to secure that further. Yun yung goal ng bill natin, no? So, yes. So, AJ, yes, importante yan. And yes, another law is doing that already. And yes, we will talk about UAX in the bill, but forcing them to consolidate, I think, is beyond the scope of this particular bill. But if we need a law on that, no, eGov is already there, no? Yan yung nakalagay sa eGov, di ba, no? Yusek Dave. Yes, so,
Yes,
there's-
Mr. Chair.
so may batas na para dyan. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I think one last point on this section of the bill. When we looked at the data on the procurement system, awarded contracts, our estimate is that awarded contracts only accounts for about 20 to 30% of the GAA, and the ABC data is about only 50 to 60%. So may malaki pang part ng GAA that is not covered by the procurement system. So for example, salaries and allowances of personnel, mga pension, mga debt servicing, mga automatic appropriations, mga non-procured items, and even ayuda, for example, yung mga soft programs. That's why we've been advocating for opening the ayuda lists as well. So we hope that that can also be accounted for in this kind of measure.
So yes, I do intend to include the ayuda lists here because eventually with eGov and with the national ID system, we should be sure na lahat ng binibigyan ng ayuda at scholarship ay totoong tao. And I think our push for transparency, because we're spending hundreds of billions in our dole-out programs, correct, DBM, no? Aabot ng 100 billion yan pag i-add mo lahat ng mga dole-out programs. Mahalaga na makita natin na totoong tao talaga at na totoong nangangailangan ang mga pinagbibigyan ng mga iba't ibang ayuda ng gobyerno. So yes, let us include that here. The DBM documents will already include the debt servicing kasi that's already part of the budget, no? Kasama na siya. But yes, I do agree that we should have, if we need to be more explicit about it, we should have it here. Yung salaries, I'm okay also with it. Siguro lang, we just have to look at data privacy because we're looking at specific individuals already. We also put a provision here that we have to be in line with the current DPS, no? The current Data Privacy Act. So nothing in the law should contravene the Data Privacy Act. But yes, I agree that even if it's I guess okay lang naman na, can I find out nga, let me solicit some support here from the government agencies. Yung mga listahan ng mga binibigyan, kunyari scholarship, di ba? Is that publicly, that should be public data already, right? Tama, di ba? Kapag nabibigyan ka ng tulong ng gobyerno, does that become public data? Anybody have an answer to that? Or is there any data privacy concerns? Sa mga lawyers natin, may mga, ano ba kayo dyan? Any data privacy experts here? Anyway, we'll look into that if that's contravening the Data Privacy Act. Okay, so may phone a friend ako dito na pwede mag-data minimization with regard to addresses, names. But ako, for me, personally, if you're getting support from government, I think your name then becomes publicly available data. No, we'll check that. But thank you for that suggestion. We'll consider that. We have been requesting. Okay. Yes. So we have been requesting PBC for the updated list, so you can submit that na lang. Are you finished, AJ? Thank you. Yes, ASEC.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a rejoinder lang po sa question po ni AJ regarding po sa like for example, yung names po ng mga scholars awardees natin. I know for a fact sa DOST, yung mga scholars, they publish yung mga names sa mga awardees for that particular year. But for the listahanan, I believe there was also a request before from TSWD to publish nga when they're trying to reconcile nga kung sino ba talaga yung nabibigyan during the pandemic. And I think they didn't push through with the publication because of sensitive information. Like for example, yung mga families na nakakatanggap ng ayuda, of course, they don't want to be like, sabihin na, tumatanggap sila ng ayuda from the government. And this is my social status. And so, hindi po na publicly available. But you can request actually from the SWD, verify yung mga recipients and also sa mga LGUs. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
I guess we'll have to tackle that in relation to the Data Privacy Act also. But thank you for the suggestion. No, we'll try to include that. Sige, we'll have Anne, and then Paul, and then si Sir Toti, Prof. Toti, and then si Prof. Adrian. But let's keep it short.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, good morning. To the point of AJ Montesa, we've actually added additional language to that. Disclosure shall include linkage identifiers or references sufficient to trace each appropriation, obligation, and disbursement. And this is for the agencies to ensure that shall ensure that budget cycle datasets are interlinked and reconcilable, to your point, Mr. Chair, a while ago, allowing citizens to trace the full flow of funds from authorization to actual expenditure and results achieved. So we'll just send that to Sir Jose.
Thank you, Anne. Salamat. Paul?
Mr. Chair, since we're talking about automation, I think everything here is more of like, you know, there are policies there. We would want to see also a, you know, every public document should be on the source code. Since we're open sourcing the source code, we want that, like, you know, as we maintain it in the IRR, but technically there should be some provision there, like what we call smart contract, that, you know, we should put every public document that was decided already. So people can see that kung may kulang pa o wala na nasubmit.
A tracker?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sige, we'll consider if we need to put that in the law or sa implementation na lang yan. No? Maybe sa IRR na lang. Thank you, Paul. Prof. Toti.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. in section 5, when you have all those documents, you're talking about tons of information.